Welcome to Chi-Town Cigar Podcast, the podcast where three Chicago guys light up a fine cigar and get into everything from sports and current events to hobbies, life's little moments, and everything in between. Whether you're here for the cigars, the conversation, or just some good laughs, we got you covered. So grab your favorite smoke, settle in, and join us for laid-back chats with a Chicago twist. Now it's time to put some smoke in the air.
Good evening, and welcome back to another episode of the Chi-Town Cigar Podcast. I'm Mike, coming to you live from Aganorsa Studios in Central Illinois. Of course, I'm joined by my buddies, my pals, my friends, my brothers in the Leaf. What's going on, guys?
How you doing, Mike?
You're so quiet today, Marty.
I am. I'm excited.
You should be. You should be. What's going on? Hey, Teddy, what's happening? Teddy's
What's up, guys? Hello. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday to you. I know where you're at. I can hear it in the background, so that's good. So it's going to be a great show. I'm glad and we lost Teddy already. So it's looking forward to tonight's show. But we gotta, before we get to that, we gotta talk about last night.
The Bears?
Yeah.
We should wait. Can we wait for
Oh yeah, absolutely we can. We'll bring him on.
He has some technical difficulties right now.
Of course.
Yeah.
Fireborn, good to see you.
Welcome, Fireborn. Hold on, did he change his it shows different names now. Oh, it shows the whole
YouTube did something weird. I noticed it last night. I was watching a podcast. It wasn't on a podcast. I was watching a podcast, and it all of a sudden changed and started showing things differently. So.
Oh yeah, that changed.
Yeah.
Hey, you gotta say the lighting is better here, right? Huh?
Looks good. Yeah. TX, my brother. Listen, I know this is gonna be a shocker, TX. It's on its way. So I'm gonna tell you it's on its way. So it's up to the US Post Office, but it's on its way. I apologize. I was telling Marty, I kept looking at that pack every time I'd walk out of the house, and I forget to grab it when I went to the post office. So I made sure, top of the line today, I went to the post office with your package. It's on its way.
Is your middle name Randy?
Hey, good things come to those who wait. All right, it's out. At least it's out there.
You finally did it.
Shut up.
You finally did it. I'm so proud of you.
Shut up. Both of you.
Val. Hey, Val. Welcome, Val.
Val's name changed too. So what's up, my brother?
I think YouTube is doing the whole name.
Yeah. Val, I was looking for you Friday night on the Dojo podcast because they were talking about Iwan Reese's. And I thought, where's Val at? He's the expert on this place. Coop was giving it a rating. So I was hoping.
How many of those places have you been to?
Val or me?
You.
Just Iwan. Just Iwan Reese.
That's the only one?
That's the only one. I mean, Dubai.
No, I didn't. I've never been to the Dubai ones. Yeah. I've been to the Smoke Inn one, and I've been to the Underground in Fort Worth.
Yeah, Fireborn. I'm not sure what's going on. Like I said, last night I went in and changed it and changed my account name to match my screen name. So, see, Teddy. TX knows good things come to those who wait, and it's coming. So.
I wonder if the numbers. I wonder how the numbers get assigned. Hopefully, it's not like the last four digits of your Social Security number. Could be your number.
While we're waiting for our
future AI prisoner number.
Yes, there you go. As we're waiting for our guest to join us, what are you guys smoking tonight? What are you smoking? What are you drinking?
I am smoking because it's Columbus Day this week. I'm smoking the Mayflower, the new Dream.
Awesome.
How do you like that? Isn't it good? Isn't it good?
It's got the Pennsylvania broadleaf wrapper with the Mexican San Andreas binder. A little more body than the other two that I've had from them.
Yeah. Teddy, what about you? What are you smoking? I know you're not drinking, but what are you smoking?
So I'm drinking water, you know how I am, and I'm smoking for now. I'm finishing the Tatuaje Monster Jason. And then I'm going to smoke tonight the Sobremesa Red Solita.
Oh.
Marty made me fall in love. He gave me my first free one, so thank you for that. And now I cannot stop buying them, and it's It's probably the best, one of my favorite Dunbarton cigars.
Those are good. Yeah.
Yes.
We're staying in the realm of Dunbarton because it's red. There's a reason that this is. I smoked
Which
it.
you got? Oh, the year of the
Red.
Duke. No, they
No,
got
the
the okay,
red
okay.
meat lovers, the Fratanga, and it's red. So there's a reason
Yeah.
behind it, and we'll go over that in a second.
Yes. That's what I
TX
kind of. That's
TX
why I
is
chose it
smoking
the same way.
Yeah, TX is smoking the domain Antrope.
The entropy.
Entropy.
Yeah. So entropy. So those were gifted from a person from Dojo, Sam. So shout out to Sam. Sent me some domain cigars, and those are really good cigars. Yes.
Oh, very nice, very nice.
They had the domain guy on their show.
Where? Oh, Dojo, really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Right.
Just like 3 weeks ago.
Excellent. That Maximilian is ranked now. It's like ranked the number 8.
So that's the brand new brand. Maximilian is like 2025. Yeah.
It's a boutique. So
have you guys tried it?
I have not. So, but should we get on to our mission for the day?
Let's get to it.
All right, and then we'll get this ball rolling here. Hold on 1 second. We gotta start this ball rolling. All right. Tonight is an all sports night. I met our guest about a year and a half ago when I was working at Ultimate Cigar Lounge for a while, and he was my morning regular. So it was the more I talked to him and the more we got to know each other and got to find out what he did, it was exciting. So when we got this podcast rolling, we definitely wanted to get him slotted in. So before I bring him on, let us all welcome Tab Bamford, the beat writer of the Chicago Blackhawks. How's that going to work, Marty?
It's not working.
Marty, you didn't put the batteries.
It was working in the dress rehearsal. One more time, Marty. If that Tab Bamford. Nope, you're out of luck. No siren. What's up, Tab?
How are we doing, boys?
We had the lamp all ready to be lit for you, and it just died out. There we go.
Finally.
It's dying.
It might be a little bit of a too close to home situation if the goal light doesn't light after the last few years.
We just want you to feel at home.
Yes, exactly. So for those of you just joining us, or that aren't aware, like I said, Tab is the beat writer, the beat reporter, the guy, the man for the Chicago Blackhawks, and for those of us here in Chicago, I think there's quite a few Chicago Blackhawks fans, and then we travel well. The Blackhawks fans travel well. I had the opportunity a couple years ago, and actually I'll be going there Thursday to Columbus to visit family. So we had a family outing when the Blue Jackets played the Blackhawks in Columbus a couple years ago. And I thought I was going to be outnumbered, and it was nice because there was a good crowd in Columbus to support our boys. So
I think Columbus likes when road fans come because they forget about that stupid cannon they shoot off when they score a goal, and all the visiting fans wet themselves because they forgot that there was a cannon that goes off.
Yes. It's almost as bad as who has the horn? Is it the Vikings that have the horn, or the whatever, when they score a touchdown they blow that stupid horn or whatever?
Yeah.
That's just as bad.
Minnesota. Bunch
So-
of losers.
So Tab is an avid cigar smoker. So it's not like we just brought on Tab just to talk about the Blackhawks. He is an avid Oliva. What, Oliva V? That's your jam, right?
This would be we'd be doing the V tonight.
There you go. Yeah, see? I didn't have to
Big
even
fan.
ask him. Yes, absolutely. So
He either does that or AJ.
Teddy's connection must be on thin ice. Yes, absolutely, Fireboy. So Tab, tell us. I mean, so the season kicked off, and between the Blackhawks and the Bears game last night, I was back and forth between both of them. And I feel like an absolute idiot because I turned to my wife and I said, when did Utah get a team? I almost thought, I'm like, is this some sort of exhibition game or something? I'm like, the Utah Mammoth. I'm like, when did Utah get a team?
They are the artist formerly known as the Arizona Coyotes. Who, when ownership decided to not pay their bills for a number of years, were fairly quickly and hastily relocated. And it really could not have been a better situation for the team because Ryan Smith and his group, which includes Dwayne Wade, among others, have a fantastic ownership situation. They own the Jazz. They own a whole bunch of other stuff. And they grabbed control pretty quickly and spent millions of dollars renovating their barn after 1 year from NBA only to NHL and NBA because the seating angles are different for the two.
Okay.
And it's great. Like, this is the first year that they're the Mammoth. Last year was their first year in Utah. They were just the Utah Hockey Club.
Okay.
Because the change happened so quickly that they didn't have all the branding like legally locked down and couldn't get like trademarks and everything else set up in time for a season because it was literally like April, May, change owners, move, and here we go. There was a lot of love for them to be the Utah Yeti. But they couldn't get the trademark worked out to cut people. And so even though Stanley makes cups to drink coffee out of too, and somehow that's not a problem for anyone, Yeti would not release its trademarks for a hockey club. So they are the Utah Mammoth.
I'm surprised. That would be
God, he knows so much.
That'd be a great marketing ploy for Yeti. My gosh.
Yeah.
No?
There and the rumors are false. There are no requisites that players for the Mammoth have to have a lot of chest hair. There are no woolly mammoth requirements when signing contracts there.
So, they looked good last night. The goalie was money. The first two periods were just, he was great.
Yeah, the Blackhawks picked up Spencer Knight.
Mm-hmm.
From Florida. They traded Seth Jones last year because they needed a defenseman and didn't be paying two goalies a lot of money. And he's still young enough that there's a lot of runway. He's got a really nice, I think, career in front of himself. So really nice trade that helped both teams. Florida won the Stanley Cup. The Bucks got in goaltender. So, but they've been competitive in every game. They are a young, fast team, which is the opposite of opening night last year. So it's at least exciting. They went from ARP cards to finishing puberty in the span of 12 months.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. So what's your take on this year? What's your thoughts on the NHL in general, and of course on our boys? How are we looking? What's your projection for the year?
The Blackhawks are in, I would say, the toughest division in the entire NHL. It's very good. I mean, Utah is fighting to get into a playoff spot. A lot of people think that they'll get in this year. They're like the fourth or fifth team in the division. Some people think that could be a playoff team just in the Blackhawks division. So it's a big uphill to get in the playoffs. They're still building. Like I said, they're incredibly young. Mm-hmm. I joked about going from ARP cards to finishing puberty, but last year's Blackhawks opening night lineup was the sixth oldest in the league. This year's opening night Blackhawks lineup is the third youngest.
Wow.
And the average age, even though a lot of guys came back, went down 3 full years. So they're a lot younger.
Yeah.
But the exciting thing is, and this is where there's nerves and there's also excitement. They've been through this rebuild for the last number of years where they've been trading everybody and bringing in draft picks and using high draft picks to go get good young players. This is really the first year that on opening night, you've got a big chunk of players that were drafted by the front office as part of the rebuild, making up the lineup. And so you're really starting the proof of concept phase, if you will, for the rebuild, where you're going to see if these young guys are as good as advertised. And some of them, I think Frank Nazar has been better than advertised in the brief little bit that we've been able to see of him, about half of a season last year, and so far this year has been fantastic. So if they all keep coming, and Connor Bedard keeps developing, he's still only 20 years old, and it feels like he's been around for a decade already. But as long as the young guys keep developing, I really like the new coach, Jeff Blashill. I love the assistant coaches that he brought in. Michael Pekka is one of those like OGs. Like, I think the hockey is like, if you're over 40, you remember Michael Pekka was one of those badass guys in Buffalo that made life hell for everybody that he played against. And if that's what you want your identity to be, you've got a good collection of guys that'll play into that. So you've got really good coaches. You've got a lot of talent. Now it's just learning from your mistakes at the NHL level. And that's, I think, where the growing pains will come in, is when you've got young guys that make mistakes and they have to learn from them on the fly while everyone is watching. Because when Duncan Keith and Brent Seabrook came up, they weren't on TV, and there were like 3,000 people in the stands.
Yeah. It's weird. It's weird to think that Bedard is like a senior on the team. I mean, at 20 years, it's like going, he's been there for 3 years now?
This is his third year, yeah.
Yeah, for 3 years, and going, holy cow, a young guy, and you go, okay, you're one of the veterans that's been around here. So
Alex Vlasic is the second oldest guy on the blue line, and he's 24.
Yeah, that's
like,
good.
Wow. 24 qualifies as old man territory on these Blackhawks now.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
And maybe the young blood can help us out.
That's the goal, and that's the hope.
Yeah.
Let the young guys roll, and they've drafted speed, and more speed, and I think they're banking on being faster than everyone is going to make life miserable for everyone around them.
And like you said, it's a rebuilding. They're still in that rebuilding phase. They're still in the development phase. So, you put a good year together this year, you put a good year together next year, and all of a sudden next year you're going, okay, hey, 27 comes along, and you start talking about we're a playoff team. And it might even come,
Yeah, I think what's fun, but what's also kind of anxiety driving right now is the front office has rightfully not put a timeline on any of this. They've said development's not linear. Guys aren't going to show up ready-made superstars. It's very rare that happens, especially when, in Connor Bedard's case, he's the first guy showing up, when Patrick Kane was one of the last guys added to the dynasty teams. And so, how quickly these guys take to the NHL and really kind of reach a level of comfort and then emerge into that stardom level. I think that's how quickly they can make a playoff run, is just how quickly all these guys get to, I'm not saying their peak, but get to a place where they're comfortable enough on the ice and they're productive enough that they're making an impact regularly.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, let's get some history on Tab, and then we'll go into the other team that played last night, and then we'll see what we think about that. So Tab, when did you start smoking cigars?
I had my first cigar courtesy of my friend Rob. I won't use his last name to protect the innocent. But there was a child's author with the first initials RL with the same last name when we were kids back in the day. I think it was day after my 18th birthday. Wow. Had a shindig with a bunch of high school kids at the house across the street. And he may or may not, again, protecting the innocent, so I won't confirm or deny, but he may have somehow jacked his dad's humidor and grabbed a couple Cubans, and we went outside in the first week of February and set the bar way too high for my lifetime of smoking experiences.
Yeah,
had no idea what I was doing, and I was freezing my ass off. But hey, Cuban cigar for my 18th birthday.
Start big.
Yeah.
So since 18, you would be smoking since then, or?
Yeah, I mean, it varying frequencies, but not any. I certainly am not smoking Cuban cigars every day. I write about sports for a living. I'm broke as hell, boys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not a poor man's hobby, that's for sure. Although you can make it with budget cigars. We've talked about that a little bit. So, why Oliva? Why? I mean, you're sitting in a lounge. For those of you that haven't figured it out yet, Teddy and Tab are both at Ultimate Cigar Lounge. So you're
We
sitting
just
in a
have really
lounge.
similar tastes in living room decor.
We've been together, I think, since 10 o'clock.
As I say, you decorated your house this summer. That's pretty nice.
We called each other before the show.
Yeah. So why Oliva? Like I said, you're sitting in a lounge. There's probably what 200.
There's probably
SKUs in there?
100. There's probably 100 different facings
Yeah,
on the wall.
yeah, exactly. At least.
Shelves here at the beautiful Ultimate Cigar Lounge in Villa Park.
Mm-hmm.
Stop by, spend money. I smoke a lot of different stuff. Honestly, you know, I enjoyed a nice avo for breakfast this morning. Had a couple AJs for lunch. It kind of, you know, I think I had my father for dinner last night. So I'll smoke all sorts of different stuff. It was just really, Teddy and I were talking in the humidor before we came on, and I was like, well, if we're going to chat for an hour, I don't want to either burn through the whole thing or have to touch it up 8 billion times. And you really can't go wrong with an Oliva V. They're delicious smoke. So figured I'd go with something that I love. And you know, Brian from Oliva is a magnificent cigar rep. We've already done, you know, I can't call it opening night because it was 4:00 in the blanket afternoon, but the first game of the season, thanks to the worldwide leader having the Blackhawks start at 5:00 Eastern. We already had an Oliva event at Ultimate to watch the opener, and so I'm a big fan of Oliva. They're just great smokes, and I'm not sure that I've ever had a bad cigar from Oliva.
Yeah, Brian is a great guy.
Yeah. And you're not going to go wrong with an Oliva. Oliva definitely, you're getting quality, you're getting good construction, you're getting good flavor notes throughout. So yeah, it's definitely
That's where Morty's cigar, the Mayflower, comes from.
Yeah.
Well, these are made at Oliva. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so it's a great company. There's nothing wrong with it at all. Teddy's got to put an Aganorsa in your hand one of these days and get you to smoke one of those. As my Aganorsa whore reputation continues on.
Pimping ain't easy, Mike. Pimping ain't easy.
I know. And, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. So, well, cool. And we'll keep touching on some other things as we go throughout the show. But it's a Chicago show. We got to talk about the Bears. We got to talk about Monday Night Football. You know, I'm telling you, the more and more I watch this team, the more and more I'm like, they're breaking all of our fears, I guess, because the Bears on Monday night historically have not done well. So,
no.
You know, last night I thought, well, here we go again. We're down that path, and the closing drive, the Bears are gonna come after us. So.
Yeah, and I think the hardest thing, and it doesn't matter what team it is, it could be the Bears, the Cubs, the Bulls, the White Sox, the Blackhawks. I think for generations of Chicago fans, when things are going really well, the default setting is waiting for the other shoe to drop and the bottom to fall out.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
We are genetically predisposed as people who are Chicago fans to doubt any success and not be able to accept that there's something good happening in our lives. Yep. So, you know, even, you know, Cubs winning the World Series in 2016 was a nail biter. Like, I think the Bulls, I feel like most of those series, you had confidence that Michael Jordan wasn't going to screw it up. The White Sox dominated the Astros in the World Series. The games were nerve-wracking, but they won all of them.
Yeah.
And so, but it seems like you get 2 years past a championship and the bottom falls out and you're right back to doubting everything because we're not allowed to have nice things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, last night I think was just another one of those games where, and I think a lot of people, like when you know, my fans and friends and coworkers were asking me like, hey, what's their record going to be? I was conservative, like I think they could go to the bye 2-2, and then the whole thing will depend on how they play Washington.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if they can play them competitively, depends on who's healthy. Always in the NFL, but if they can compete and maybe beat Washington, then that could catapult them through like the next 4 or 5 weeks. You got Baltimore in there, Lamar Jackson still banged up, but you've got kind of this like 3 to 5 week window where they could really, put a stamp on things before the schedule like really screws them in late November, early December, and you run through like 5 straight playoff teams down the stretch. But momentum's a real thing in football. When you're hot, you can ride it, and they've got an opportunity now coming off a couple emotional wins in a row, and God help us actually winning a game after the bye. I think the last time they did that, Ditka was the head coach. But they've got the ability to actually build some momentum and string some stuff together here, which is exciting.
Sammy Flo, it's good to see you. I mean, it's interesting because you talk about it. I mean, the Bears of '85 dominated the entire season. You went into the Super Bowl going, we're gonna get this. I mean, I've shared it with these guys before. I sat in both playoff games in Soldiers Field, froze my butt off. But again, it wasn't like you were ever worried. It was just wondering how much are you gonna beat this team by. So it's interesting. We do always wait for the other shoe to drop. I remember, I forget what year it was. It was a couple years ago where we were beating Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers is out. We go into halftime and come back, and we fell apart. So you're looking at those situations and going, man, what's going to happen? And now I like the way Ben Johnson has developed this team. I like their mindset, and I gotta believe it's almost a Ditka-esque type of situation to be able to go into this game on Sunday going, we're not taking our foot off the gas. You guys can't go back and go, oh, hey, we beat Washington. That's over and done with. We've made mistakes in that game. We've got to fix those mistakes. At the same point, we got to go into Sunday's game with a clean record. And okay, we've got to play just as hard. And I think, there's a lot of good things that can come out of this. I think there's a lot of stuff that Caleb Williams is learning. I hate Monday Night Football games because Aikman and Joe Buck were just horrendous. I mean, they are.
You know what I loved about it though? Joe Buck hates Chicago so much that like when the field goal goes through, you can literally like hearing his voice dialing the phone for his therapist, like Chicago won a game.
Yeah, no, and that's exactly it. I mean, he hates him. Troy Aikman hates him, and it's like, they kept talking about, the 13, they had a 13-point lead, and it's like going, okay, so what? It's like, they made so many negative comments about the Bears throughout the show, the game. It's just like going, are you freaking kidding me?
Well, the irony is that one of the rubs with Troy Aikman is that a lot of people feel like he doesn't like players that are loud and flamboyant. He played with Michael Irvin and Deion Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
Like, y'all are in the Hall of Fame because of guys that didn't just hand the ball to the ref. They'd been there 100 times before. So let's not act like Caleb Williams painting his fingernails is anything new or unique.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, Chicago has always been the city that people forget. Like, the running joke is that ESPN never acknowledges the 05 White Sox.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Like, they've had graphics that forgot that the Astros were in the National League and lost the World Series in 2005.
Yeah.
If not for Michael Jordan, they would never include anything Chicago in any montage that ever existed.
Right.
So part of it, I think, is just this vibe of, we don't need to worry about or care about Chicago until they're going to put bread on our table, and then we'll bend over backwards and put the Blackhawks, the Bulls, whomever on every, 2017, the Cubs were every Sunday night game, it felt like, because they were hot.
Right.
2018, they couldn't get a sniff of national TV again.
Yeah. No,
so,
right.
Fireborn has the question the Fireborn has is really interesting.
Because there is, it's funny to see all these betting apps that come across in these commercials. And you've got to say, how isn't it a conflict of interest? And at the same point, they'll run that, and then they'll run the disclaimer at the end. If you have a gambling problem, please call whatever. And it's what's your thought on the betting apps? What's your thought on this whole?
So without this becoming like a 45-minute separate podcast episode. So all of the different apps have to license the marks and the names so that they are allowed to do business.
Mm-hmm.
So effectively, they're paying sponsorship dollars to the league so that they can use the team's marks and players' names when you want to gamble on them. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, right?
Mm-hmm.
Call it a marketing expense, call it a licensing fee, but money's going one way or the other. At the end of the day, the commissioners of all these professional leagues, their job is to make money for the owners. It isn't to make everyone love football. Roger Goodell isn't there to make all of us fall in love with football. He's there to make the owners more richer.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why when the NFL as a corporation sold the Red Zone property to ESPN, it was an equity play, and they got a piece of Disney in the deal. They got a piece of ESPN for selling the Red Zone properties over, because that's going to make them money. Now, if you think gambling is a conflict of interest, let's talk about the media outlets that are covering the games and talking about the games. Let's talk about how sincere ESPN can be in covering hard to touch topics with the NFL if they're truly in bed together.
Yeah.
Football has always been run by the gamblers. It has always been. Fantasy football is older than I am. Jimmy the Greek was running that junk in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew that would get a rise out of Teddy. He's going to have to go. He's going to have to finish that cigar and have a cigarette in a cold shower.
Yeah.
Because
we had to explain who Jimmy the Greek was to Teddy.
I was going to say, yeah, we did.
Grandpa Jimmy to Ted. But I think the bigger, when you talk about the whole ethical dilemma, I think it's bigger ethical dilemma for baseball, where that is literally like Adam and Eve don't eat the apple.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been in Major League Baseball clubhouses, and every one of them, home and away, still has the rule posted above the door: "Thou shalt not gamble on baseball." Yeah. Pete Rose isn't in the Hall of Fame because he committed the one cardinal sin.
Do you think he'll get in?
And yeah, that's a fun gig. With it's the one cardinal rule.
Yeah,
you can't do it, and he did it, a lot. So Major League Baseball getting money from sports books and fantasy apps and everything else, I think, is a much muddier water than any other sport dealing with gambling, because they have been so outspoken against gambling throughout its history, going back more than 100 years to the Black Sox. And so, I think that's where it really becomes problematic is baseball starts taking the money. But, I don't think that there's any overt influence on things. The problem comes in when you start having players accused of shaving, players accused of throwing games. You had a couple Cleveland Guardians pitchers this year that were suspended indefinitely while they were investigated, because they can track everything. And when, randomly $50,000 are thrown at a guy throwing a ball on the first pitch of the batter in the third inning, and he does it, and it's a non-competitive pitch, red flags go up everywhere. And so when athletes start to worry about those things, which is impossible if you're on any social media and you're an athlete, whether it's college or pro, you can't avoid it. People are barking in your mentions about, dude, you threw a game. Dude, I needed 250 passing yards and you gave me 240. Like, they're supposed to care about your fantasy team,
right?
Or your prop bet.
And was it Ohtani that got? Who was it that was under investigation by MLB? Because it would end up being his manager or his friend or something like that?
Shohei Ohtani's translator.
Yeah.
Was allegedly siphoning money out of Ohtani's accounts
Right.
to do a number of nefarious things, one of which was gambling. I can't remember if they tied any of the bets to the Dodgers specifically, but I mean, it sounds like he's probably, figuring out what prison looks like back home at this point, because there was a lot of shady stuff going on. But, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but if I don't care if I'm making 40 million, if 250K disappears, I'm probably like, hey, who bought a dog?
Yeah. No, it's interesting for sure. I mean, it's always interesting. I'm always curious about that. I mean, especially with the NCAA. I mean, the NCAA, you've got football, you've got basketball. Those are, March Madness it's my jam. I mean, regardless. I mean, I make good money on the NCAA, March Madness. I haven't had in the last 3 years, I haven't had a bad playoff run just based on my bets and what I see. So it's interesting in that regard of what you're saying. And at the same point, the NCAA's got to be getting a good cut because they're allowing all that to be used. They're allowing all those teams to be used. And,
They just made a rule change where NCAA players didn't used to be allowed to bet on anything, I don't think. And now they can bet on other sports. Players.
I think sports that they are not personally competing in.
Yeah.
I lose on that. I lose on the bet.
Sammy Flo, that's just wrong. That's just wrong because I can already tell where you're going with this, and I'm not even gonna introduce that
Mike wins every time.
You can't get a word in edgewise with Mike.
I'm gonna mute my mic. You two can carry on the rest of the show. I will sit here.
Come on, Mike. No.
I love this. The podcast has been fun, and our audience, you guys are, you're special. And I say it in the nicest way. I love every
you could
one
take
of you
that
guys.
2 ways.
Yeah, I know, and I love each and one of you guys. Hey, we hit 13 tonight, so we're doing great. It's another week in a row. We will share some interesting information with you guys come December, reference to all of your guys' input and stuff like that. But
get ready for December.
Yeah, let's take a break real quick. We'll do some commercials to pay for this podcast, and then we'll come back and we'll talk to Tab some more, and we'll do some news and some other fun things as usual. And we have a new commercial. Enjoy it, guys.
Step into luxury at Ultimate Cigar Lounge, where passion meets perfection. Discover a world of premium cigars, hand-selected from the finest tobacco regions. From bold beginners to seasoned aficionados, our curated collection delights every palate. Grab a cigar from our amazing selection, pair it with freshly brewed coffee or fine spirits, and sit back and relax in an atmosphere of elegance and warmth. Ultimate Cigar Lounge, your haven for unforgettable moments. Visit us today and ignite your senses. Ultimate Cigar Lounge, located in Villa Park, Illinois. Looking for the ultimate eyewear experience in Chicagoland? Discover Eyewear Fix, your premier eyewear store for over 28 years. From sunglasses to sports glasses to safety gear, we've got it all at every price point. Bring your prescription, and we'll handle the rest. Our appointment-only office offers a private, concierge-style experience tailored to your busy schedule. Call or text Chris at 630-853-4167 to book your visit and see why Eyewear Fix surpasses expectations. Eyewear Fix, where style meets precision. Get your fix today.
How about that commercial?
I'm telling you, we updated the pictures. We got a little bit more. We got to sort of do something with the audio, but it's we're trying to keep things fresh, trying to keep things new, and so and I will tell our audience, don't miss the next couple of months. We have got some banger. Tab's joining us tonight. We have got some banger guests coming on, and next week we are going to do a special episode. It's a blind smoke. We're all going to be smoking a cigar. We exchanged these cigars weeks ago. So we're all going to be smoking a cigar, showing you what we don't know about cigars, because I think it's fair to say none of us are going to get this right. What the makeup of the cigar is, where it comes from, or for that matter, who made the cigar. It's guaranteed to be a show full of laughs, and you guys will go, why am I even listening to this show if these guys can't figure out what these cigars are? So
it's going to be fun.
Yeah. I always take the under for Teddy. Absolutely. We just permanently mute Teddy's mic half the time. It's either the crickets or the cicadas that are getting him. So,
No cicadas today.
no. So I think the cicadas are done. I think the cicadas are done. College football is a minor league for the NFL. Val, it's a real good. That's a real good point, and it's interesting to see. I've heard a lot of discussion. I am a Pat McAfee junkie. I watch that show as much as I possibly can. Tab knows it was probably on at the lounge every day when I was there. And it's interesting because they asked Roger Goodell if he would help the NCAA, and his comment, this was a couple years ago, was my phone's always on. They can always call me and help and ask for help. I'll be more than willing to offer it, but he wasn't going to call the NCAA and give them direction or anything like that. So
I think that if you take the NCAA as a whole, they probably make more money than the NFL. They're bigger than the NFL.
The reason the NCAA will never call Roger Goodell is because Roger Goodell has done something that the NCAA, tell that it is, does not want to do and refuses to acknowledge exists, and that is collectively bargain with a union.
Yeah.
If the NCAA wanted to avoid needing Congress to fix NIL after they allowed Pandora's box to swing open and have if the transfer portal is nothing more than unrestricted free agency.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
If they had wanted to keep any ounce of pressure on the lid on Pandora's box, they would have encouraged the student athletes, specifically in football and basketball, to unionize and collectively bargain their cut against the media deals. Maybe you do it by conference, but the NCAA doesn't want to go there because they still lie to themselves and everyone else that it's amateur athletics. And the reality is, under the NCAA umbrella, 99.6% of the athletes are truly amateurs. They're not going to make money. They're not going to go pro.
Right.
They'll get their $27 check from EA Sports because their last name and number as a tight end for Ball State is going to show up on the video game.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is that what used to be the Power Five, now the Power Four conferences, throw in Notre Dame as an alleged independent. They should no longer, for football specifically, they should no longer be under the NCAA umbrella because the NCAA is hindering all of their business interests.
Yeah.
And they're keeping them from truly being able to weaponize their strength in media negotiating and being able to keep players from doing whatever they want in free agency.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, that's a soapbox.
That's okay. No, it's quite all right. I mean, I hear these stats on Saturdays about some of these guys that are playing that have a wife and 3 kids and own a house, and I'm like, and they're in college. You know, they're 5th year freshmen or something like that. And I'm like, I shake my head at so.
Everybody's in college for 7 years. Yeah, most of them
Yes.
become doctors.
Yeah, it's all about the money. You're absolutely right, Val. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
So we talked to our viewers today about our giveaway too.
Oh yeah, go right ahead. Mention it. Talk about it.
Do you want to talk about your book and show them? Because Teddy forgot it at home. Guys, it's signed from Tab. So
in February of this year, I have the I Like Hockey shirt on. Funny story about that. If you followed the Blackhawks during Connor Bedard's rookie season, during the preseason, he was asked a question, and his answer started by bluntly saying, "I like hockey," and it became a thing. And they made T-shirts. I can say with full sincerity, and the other members of the media of the Blackhawks can attest, I was the guy that asked him the question that got the "I like hockey" answer. And I wrote a book about Connor Bedard's rookie season, kind of a behind-the-scenes little Zoom action. Oh, hey, oh.
Hey.
Titled "The Future Connor Bedard and the Chicago Blackhawks New Era." And it's kind of a behind-the-scenes look at an 18-year-old kid that was described as a generational talent coming into the NHL in a big city that was 2 time zones away from where he grew up outside of Vancouver, and all of the things that he went through in that season. So Teddy's got a copy that I threw a John Hancock in for you boys to
Awesome.
have fun with.
Awesome. Yeah. If you want to be considered into the raffle, just comment. Anybody that comments, we will throw your name into the wheel of random names, and we will at the end of the show pick a name, and Marty or Teddy will get it sent out to you. I'm not putting my name on just setting something out right now.
Yeah, we're not gonna have Mike do that. I'll do it.
I feel terrible. I absolutely feel terrible. But I'm glad I sent it out. It's done. It's gone. And it was actually set to be sent out yesterday. And imagine that I'm.
Did you use post office?
It's Columbus. It's Columbus Day. Yes, I use the USPS. Sorry.
Oh boy.
I know. I know. I took a little bit of money out of your pocket, Teddy. So
okay.
Let's go into cigar news, and we'll come back. So you ready, Teddy? All right.
3, 2, 1.
And now, CTCP presents This Week in Cigar News with Teddy the Greek.
Hey, we're getting better and better with this.
I'm telling
I swear.
you. I'm telling you. So
All
here we
right,
go,
this week we got Perez Carrillo, the Historia Silk. If you want to share the pictures that I sent you, yeah.
Yeah, I do.
So
We're there.
Yeah. So in April, Casa Carrillo announced it will be showing off a new sub-brand for its Perez Carrillo La Historia line during the 2025 PCA convention named Perez Castillo. La Historia Silk, the new limited edition blend, was created by Lisette Perez Carrillo, who says she was inspired by the grace, resilience, and influence of women. So that's going to be the wrapper. The only thing they say is going to be a wrapper, Ecuador Habano, binder and filler on it closed. It's going to be about $16.50, box of 10. I really like EP Carrillo cigars. They're really good. I mean, all of us have EP Carrillo. I'm pretty sure, Teb, you try EP Carrillo, right?
Awesome.
And then Moose Kick limited edition 2025 shipping next week, and that's by Crown Heads. So this year's Moose Kick Crown Heads exclusive release for the Canadian market will begin shipping to the stores next week. That is going to be 500 bundles of 10 cigars made for the release. And previously, Crown has declined to talk about the MSRP for the Moose Kick due to the pricing differences related to provincial taxes. So there's no prices for it yet, but it's going to be a 4 7/8 by 52 Robusto with a pigtail. So that's interesting. Yes,
It's like their mule kick for Canada. They call it moose kick.
Nice.
And then have they done that for multiple years? Because I don't know if I've ever noticed that.
I think 3.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think 3 years. Actually 2 years. It's the second year.
So prices gonna be left up to the individual.
Yeah, because
lounges,
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Retailers, I should say, not lounges. So
Yeah,
okay.
the retails basically, yeah. So I mean, you even know the weird rules that they have in Canada. You have to remove the band and put your own band, and we're not gonna get to that.
I don't think you can get out of a cigar store with a cigar under like $25 in Canada.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go to Canada. No,
Pretty expensive.
Bunch of hosers.
Yeah.
And we got Adobe Black Delirios gets second release at Two Guys Cigars. So in late August, the second Vitola of the Adobe Black line was released as a single store release for 828 Cigars in Villa Park. Later this month, the cigar will be released as second retailer. Should be the Two Guys Cigars. That'll be released, and there will be 2 different humidors. Releases that have been created for the New Hampshire-based retail for the 40th anniversary. The one is going to be focused on the Delirious 5 3/4 by 55 and the 6 8 by 55.
Okay.
I love avid. I mean, it's a little expensive, but it's gonna be priced at $450, the 10, and then
$450 for 10?
yeah, and the 20 will be MSRP of $2,000. So that's gonna be yeah. I
We
mean,
would have to play college football to afford those cigars.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
it's gonna be interesting. Another expensive cigar is gonna be the Weller by Cohiba 2025.
What's that one?
So Son Williams, brand ambassador of Cohiba, posted a video of the new cigar, and many details released are similar to the previous Weller by Cohiba cigars, and it will be 6x50 Toro that comes packaged in individual tubes. On paper, the blend is going to be similar to the 2024 release, an Ecuadorian Sumatra seed wrapper over the American broadleaf binder, and fillers from the Dominican Republic, Honduras, and Nicaragua. I gotta tell you, the price is going to be $30 per stick, but I'm really excited, and it tastes really good. The Cohiba, the new one, the purple band, it's really good. I'm really excited about the new one. I tasted it once. I gotta try it twice, but it's really good. The Rubicon, couldn't remember
Are
the name.
these Weller Cohibas? Are those? I don't want to call them infused, but were they infused? I guess, for lack of a better word, with.
I think they were aged in Weller barrels.
Yes,
Thank you. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yes, there was 18 barrels that previously held foolproof bourbon, and the 2025 release is listed as having its binder aged in barrels that previously held Weller Antique 107. I'm not good with alcohol, but I mean, it sounds good. So I'm really excited for this one. This is crazy that Don Carlos. So Arturo Fuentes shipping Don Carlos. I don't know if I'm going to say this correctly. Sangre de Toro. It means the blood of a bull. So for the first time in history, Arturo Fuentes using Mexican San Andres wrapper on one of the cigars. So next week, the company is going to be shipping the two first Vitolas. If you see, I think I sent you the Vitolas. So the two first ones is going to be 5/3/4 by 54, and the Bestia is going to be 6/4 by 52. And that said, the cigars are arriving a bit later than the original ship day of Summit 2025. And it's going to be $18.50 for a box of 20, 270. And then $15 per stick for a box of 20 for $300 for the Robusto. I kind of like it. I mean, I like Arturo Fuente, but this is going to be interesting. And it's not a Opus X is going to be expensive. So it's nothing like $40. I mean, $15, $16, kind of affordable for us.
Yeah.
There was a cool picture from the show where he was when they were debuting these at the PCA. He was like sprinkling red paint. He had some like bull testicles, like plastic bull testicles, and he was like splashing things with red paint. Yeah, I kind of wonder too if this is like part of their plan to get away from Cameroon.
I was just talking about that. I want to try the cigar. And then our last news. This is really cool. All right, Jason Newman's home run humidor. That is awesome. You can see the picture. That is a great humidor. When I first saw it, I was impressed. So first shown off in March 2024, the humidor is designed to mimic the shape of a home plate that was announced alongside Jason Newman's Tampa Smokers line. Its humidor was made by Jason Legear of JML Modern Milwaukee Humidor Corporation, a Milwaukee-based woodworker. So it's kind of cool because this uses stuff from a home plate from the league, and it's kind of cool. And if you can see that you saw the previous picture, the cigar is like a bat. So it's going to be 25 6x52 Toros, and then the other one that looks like a bat is going to be 7x52 42. The cigar is designed to look like a baseball bat. So the humidor actually fits about 100 to 125 cigars. Go ahead.
So you're smoking the handle of the bat,
the knob, yeah,
the knob,
the knob in your mouth.
That's going to be interesting. That's going to be an interesting smoke. Yeah, so.
It will be interesting on how you're going to cut it. First of all, you have to use a straight cut. There's no way you can use a V cut on that. It's not. I don't think it's going to fit. But the cigar is just very interesting how this just was designed.
I gotta believe the cigar rollers are not happy. Let me rephrase
No,
that. I gotta believe they're
absolutely not.
happy now that they're done with this, but I can't picture the headache of trying to roll this sucker. It makes no sense. I don't even understand how you got the little handle onto it. I mean, it's
impressive.
Yes,
It's
it is.
impressive. It doesn't say the prices for the cigars, but it just says the MSRP price for the humidor, and that's also $2,000, by the way.
$2,000 for the humidor?
$2,000 just for the humidor. So
that includes cigars.
It does not.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, it says actually does. It comes with 30 cigars, but it doesn't I don't know. It doesn't specify really if it's going to be those cigars that it looks like a bat or something from the line. I'm assuming it would be those ones, unless they're going to do only the Toros.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I really like it. It looks really good. But for $2,000,
yep.
But yeah, that's what I got. Only there was a lot of there was a lot of news for California. I don't want to get into that, but yeah, the California news are getting out of control with the cigars.
I'll share something in a second. Just to remind everybody, if you can, we share this, like this. We could use the analytics. We're trying to do as much as we can, but share this to your timeline, share it with friends, subscribe to Spotify or subscribe to our YouTube page. We can use it. And then also, we do have a website, Chi-Town Cigar Podcast, at Chi-Town Cigar Podcast, right? Yeah, Chi-Town Cigar Podcast.com.
Yes, Mike.
Yes. My mind was shot. I was listening to a podcast last night with Pete Johnson from Tatuaje. So they're doing something very unique for California, and they're going to release California-only cigars. So I think
it's going to be like a $45, $50 cigar, right?
They're doing it's 20 SKUs. It's 20 SKUs that they're releasing only in California. So they're trying to make California as special as it can be, considering everything. But yeah, so
they're just taking cigars that they already have and giving them a new SKU, calling them something else.
Yes, yeah.
They're not like making a special cigar for California.
No,
because then all his fans would be ordering the California cigars,
right? And
paying.
He actually said they're pulling quite a few SKUs from their line. So I'm assuming they're pulling SKUs from their line in order to send those exclusively to California. So Val says factory smokes for California. Yeah, it's about all you can afford out there. The rate things are going. So I mean, it's interesting. I wanted to go back and listen to the rest of the podcast. It was, like I said, between the Bears, the Blackhawks, and then Pete jumping on this podcast, I'm like, oh, good God. But I will plug the podcast. It's How About That Cigar? We have a sort of a relationship with those guys and Matt Ty, but he was on there last night. So
we still have to do the bet, right?
Yeah, I'm working on that. We're gonna have Matt Ty on. We're gonna have Matt Ty on, and then Marty and I will give into our bet and take this horrendous shot.
We'd beat him. The bad thing is we'd beat him now if we played him.
Yes, we would. Yes, we would. So, but yeah, so that's the news with Teddy the Greek. I did see that Fireborn. Where is it? There you go. Fireborn said that was a sweet intro. So Teddy's got his own personal intro, so that puts the pressure on Teddy to keep performing. So, yeah, how the leftovers from California. You're absolutely right, Lou. You're absolutely right.
California's going to be getting the bottom trimmings.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Pete's working on a couple things. He shared. He's working on a short filler. So he's working on that. He's smoked it quite a few times, and he's not sure if he likes it or not. So he's trying to figure out that. So it's a really good. If you're trying to get some Tatuaje news, like I said, check out How About That Cigar. Last night they had him on. So let's jump over to our Capone cut for the night. So our Capone cut for the night is the Knuckle Sandwich Maduro. This is a full-bodied cigar, cocoa, espresso, pepper, retrohale. I've smoked this cigar. You do a retrohale with this sucker, you are getting black pepper extraordinaire. I mean, this thing will wake you up in a heartbeat. Um, it's considered a medium to full body cigar. And then if you haven't smoked this and you like a cigar that increases in intensity as you go through it, this is a cigar for you. This is a cigar that as you smoke it, it gets more and more intense.
It's heavy, dude. It's a heavy cigar. Yeah.
Yeah. But price wise for the Toro, a 6x54 Toro is $13.95. That's a great price for a cigar. You know, that's phenomenal.
That's without the taxes in Illinois.
Well, that's a whole different situation. The MSRP is $13.95. Where you buy it is your choice. And so we gave this rating. We gave the knuckle sandwich Maduro the Italian beef rating, is because it's a flavor packed, full body, and street tough cigar. So that is our Capone.
Is that Italian beef with Jardiniere on it, or what are we doing here?
Of course, it's a Chicago style Italian beef. This is a Chicago style Italian beef. We got a Chicago style hot dog, Chicago style Italian beef, and the deep dish, which is Chicago. So
you're not pairing it.
I didn't pair it. It's a good question. You'd almost need to pair this. I forgot about that. You'd almost need to pair this with something a little less complex, because the cigar is going to blow you out. You could probably pair this. I would almost go. You're better off pairing this like with a white Russian or something that's going to sort of help mellow out your palate as you're going through this, because this thing gets, like you said, this is a cigar.
It's a heavy cigar.
Yeah.
Would it pair well, going off the alcohol line? Would it pair well with Dr. Pepper? Would that accentuate the retro a little bit?
Absolutely, yeah. A Dr. Pepper, a cream soda.
Don't start with Dr. Pepper, because he loves Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
I'm throwing softballs here. Poor Mike.
I know. I will tell you this, and we've reported on this, but this is in full swing. Aganorsa has teamed with Moneybags Soda. Tab, are you aware of Moneybag Soda?
I am.
Okay. So yes. Again, I'm an Aganorsa slut. Aganorsa has teamed with Gene Simmons and Moneybag Soda, and there will be quite a few different events going on throughout the country. There's one actually coming up not in Columbus, in I think Cincinnati, either next week or the following week. That'll be the kickoff one. So, but I'm anxious. You can actually order Moneybag Soda and they'll ship it to your house. You can get a variety pack. They've got cream soda, root beer.
Wasn't the one that Terrence was he was for September giveaways for the Aganorsa Acolytes? Those are the sodas you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just gave those away. Yeah, we gave those away last Wednesday. Last Wednesday we did a giveaway with those. So,
that's cool. I like it.
Yeah. So, should we do your favorite part of the show, Teddy?
Before we start, I think, Tab, you should introduce your new book that you have coming out.
Oh, a new one. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
We're 2 books in one calendar year, which is something to do. So this one just Amazon bookshelves everywhere. It is a coffee table book, history of the Chicago Bulls. Just available to everybody as of October 14th. So if you check your calendars and the podcast date, that's like within a day or two. And I showed Teddy that the photo that I selected for the acknowledgments is Phil Jackson.
Oh, Phil Jackson. Nice.
A victory dance, because and there are plenty of photos in there of Michael Jordan smoking cigars, because people who know me and read the book will understand why you have Michael Jordan and Phil Jackson smoking cigars as frequently as you in the book. It's like a coffee table style book that's photo driven, and it's all the way from the birth of the Chicago Bulls up through the draft this summer. So
That would make a
fairly
nice
up to date.
Christmas present.
It would.
It would.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm buying that one.
You buying it for your co-host? Gonna give your
I'm-
co-host?
Thanks, Teddy.
Yeah,
I got you guys.
You're so
I got
thoughtful.
Can it be
Yes.
autographed? No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Tab, did you have to explain to Teddy who Michael Jordan was?
It was easier for Teddy to spell than Antetokounmpo. Though he does not pray, Teddy does not pray at the altar of Jordan as he does with the larger Antetokounmpo family.
Oh, that's awesome. All right. Let's jump into today in history.
Already.
So before we start,
Yeah.
I'm really excited to let you guys know that Chris found us glasses like the Blues Brothers.
Oh,
Like you
nice.
say,
Awesome.
yes.
Awesome.
We just have to buy the fedoras and we all set.
Nice. Awesome. All right. So today in Chicago history, October 14th, 1900. 1900. Chicago's Ban Johnson, who's the founder and president of the American League, announced that the American League would challenge the National League as a major league. He reorganized franchises, replacing some, relocating others. Indianapolis and Kansas City replaced by Baltimore and Washington, and keeping a team in Chicago. So October 14th, the challenge was laid out. So it would be the battle between leagues. And then in 1906, Marty, you ready for this?
Yeah.
1906.
I know 1906. What could have
You
happened?
remember that?
1906, October 14th, 1906, the Chicago White Sox, nicknamed the Hitless Wonders, clinched the World Series over the heavily favored Cubs. The White Sox had a weak batting average, but made timely hits and held the Cubs to a 196 average in the series. So,
I believe back then the World Series was a best of 9.
was it really?
Wow.
Wow.
If you go back and look at it, the Black Sox actually, I believe, lost that World Series 5-2.
Wow.
God, this guy knows, dude.
Yeah, he does.
This guy's
Yeah, he does.
educated.
I picked out some trivia questions if we have time at the end.
We will, yeah.
Some
Absolutely.
Blackhawks
Let's
trivia.
go, Marty.
Nice. 1908. 1908. The Cubs win the World Series. October 14th, 1908, the Cubs defeated Detroit Tigers 2-0 in Game 5 to win the World Series.
And then
They
what
must have
happened?
dropped it down. They must have dropped it down in 2 years to go, you know what? These 9 games are way too long. And then this, I did not know this. And Marty, I'm curious if you know this. 1923, October 14th, 1923, a bomb exploded outside Cubs Park, which later became known as Wrigley Field, causing about $5,000 in damage. No one was injured. The act was attributed to anger over labor arbitration decision by Judge Kennesaw Mountains Landis. So I
He
couldn't
was
find
like
anything
the
else.
first.
I believe Kennesaw Mountain Landis would have been the commissioner of
Yeah, he
baseball.
was the first commissioner, I think.
Yeah. So yeah, he was. I read this 3 times. I'm like, did it really say a bomb outside? Wrigley Field. Like, holy cow! So yeah, so that's our news, or our today in history for October 14th. So,
Tab already knew all this stuff, man.
I know he did. All right, Marty, throw it out there. Throw some trivia out there, or do we want to do the giveaway? Is there anybody else that I've got? Here's
Let's
the
do
name
the
that I have.
giveaway first.
Okay, I have on the wheel. I have Fireborn, TX Rebel, Luke, Val Chavez, and Sammy Flo. If anybody else wants to be on the wheel, chime in now. We have 14. We had 15 viewers. We got 14 right now. If you want your name thrown on the wheel, say hello. Tell us
It's
to
not
go.
did you get TX? He is
Hello.
coming.
I did. Yeah, TX Rebel. I got him on there. Yeah.
Hello.
Fireborn.
Yep. Fireborn, Sammy Flo, Luke, Val, TX, Fireborn. But yeah. So we'll give it a couple more minutes. Marty, go ahead with your history or your trivia, and then
We should be sure Teddy's the one who ships the book out afterwards, because
Yes, I'll do it. I'll use FedEx.
Why
He'll
you
use
do that way?
GPS.
Why would you throw me under the bus like that?
All right, some Blackhawks trivia. First one's kind of easy.
No.
What year did the Chicago Blackhawks join the NHL?
1926. They're
Yes.
celebrating their 100th anniversary this year,
Yep.
and there were a whole lot of old people on the red carpet on opening night. They had kids, descendants, all the way back, and they had a couple of guys that played for them in the 50s still around, which was pretty cool to see.
I saw that, and I saw they brought back who's the announcer that retired?
Pat Foley.
Yeah, he's coming back as an ambassador now.
Yeah, he and Jeremy Roenick, which will definitely keep the fine adult beverage serving establishments happy at the United Center.
Yes.
Baby and I got you. Keep going, Marty.
All right. Who holds the Chicago Blackhawks franchise record for most career goals?
I believe it's still Bobby Hull. Stan Mikita has the record for points. Or did Bobby Hull bail before he got the goal record, and it's still Mikita?
No, it says Bobby Hull.
Yeah.
Extra credit.
I think Bobby Hull got the record before he decided to take the money from Winnipeg just to screw older old man Wirtz.
Yeah, I can still remember that. It was a sad day.
I was crestfallen.
How many Stanley Cup championships have the Blackhawks won in total?
6.
I was about to say
which
7,
is nice because for a long time, the banners in the rafters of the United Center were lopsided because the Bulls had 6 and the Blackhawks had 3, so they had to level it off. Now, I will say, if you attend a Blackhawks game this year, they separated the 6 Stanley Cup banners, and they have a big one in the middle now celebrating their 100th anniversary. Nice. They unveiled a new banner on opening night.
That's beautiful.
Here's one I didn't know before this. So, what legendary curse is said to have prevented the Blackhawks from finishing first in their league standings for decades after their founding?
The Curse of Muldoon.
Wow.
That's kind of crazy.
Which was made up by a newspaper columnist.
Right.
It was completely fictitious. But
it was kind of weird.
In Chicago, we love curses, and so the Curse of Muldoon followed the Blackhawks around for about 35 years.
And it was specific to them finishing first in the regular season, apparently, because they won Stanley Cups during those times. They just couldn't finish first in the regular season.
Did you give him all the answers?
No,
he's that good.
I will say in a bit of a cheat code. The first, I've written 4 books now, but the first one that I did, Jeremy Roenick actually wrote the foreword for the book, and it was 100 Things Blackhawks fans should know and do before they die, which was a nice little paperback history of the Blackhawks with some other fun things that you should do if you go to a game or things like that if you're a fan. So, Mr. Muldoon's curse was one of the early ones, like that. Between that and the sad tale of Charlie Gardner, who was the goalie on the first team that won the Stanley Cup for the Blackhawks, and sadly had I believe it was a tooth infection that went sideways during the Stanley Cup final. He is the last goalie captain of a team that won the Stanley Cup final, and he passed away weeks after they won the Stanley Cup final because of the infection.
Wow.
And it's been almost 100 years since you had a goalie serve as captain of a Stanley Cup champion.
This was before like penicillin?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And doctors caring about hockey players being injured.
Yeah. All right. Next question. Which Blackhawks has the record for most consecutive games played with the Blackhawks?
A man whose number should have been retired about 30 years ago. Steve Larmer, whose number 28 should have been taken out of circulation literally 30 years ago. And the only reason that his consecutive games played streak ended at 884 was because he demanded a trade and ended up following former Blackhawks coach Mike Keenan to the New York Rangers, where he helped Keenan and Mark Messier win a Stanley Cup in 1994.
Nice.
Can I throw one out there, Adam?
Sure.
So, Tab, can you tell me what happened October 19th, 1980 at the Blackhawks game?
What day?
October
19th,
1980.
If he gets this right, I'm quitting.
I don't know, so I'm going to throw a guess out there. Was that the night Denny Savard scored his first goal?
No. This is a game that holds a tremendous place in my heart. It is my first game ever being at the Madhouse in Madison.
Oh, I should have known.
Well, wait, no. Wait a minute here. So let me tell you everything. First of all, they retired Stan Mikita's number that day. First time they retired a player's number. Pat Foley's first game. There was a bench clearing brawl. There was a hat trick. And let me just make sure I quote this correctly here.
Was that Minnesota North Stars that night?
Good guess.
No, the Washington Capitals. The Washington Capitals. There was also a fluke goal.
What?
There was a fluke goal. Paul Mulvey's attempted to pass the length of the ice. It ricocheted off the goalie and ended up in the net for the Chicago Blackhawks, giving them another goal. My dad told me after that game, I am never taking you guys to another Blackhawks game. You will never see anything like this again. I've got the ticket stub. I was able to find it on eBay. I was able to actually find it on eBay and the program. So yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, what year was that?
1980.
October 19th, 1980. I was hoping not to have to share that until we got to that day. And
I was 8 months and 2 weeks old at that time. I remember it fondly.
Shut up. Teddy wasn't even a thought in anybody's mind at the time.
Thank God I'm not the only youngest one here, okay?
Yeah.
You're still a baby, Teddy.
Yes, I threw a squid on the ice. No.
I went to games.
Detroit sucks.
My parents had season tickets.
Did they really?
And back when Bobby Hull and Stan Mikita and Tony Esposito and Keith Magnuson, they were all playing.
We talked about this all with Mo. How you were Chicago Blackhawks fans with never seen the team. You were a fan because you listened to it on the radio. That was it. You couldn't see him on TV unless there was some weird fluke, and for some reason they were playing. They were showing them on a national game or something like that, which was very rare as well. So
talk about Mo. Patina cigars on the way in.
All right.
Oh well,
real quick fun fact for Mike and Marty, since you brought up Keith Magnuson, and we started talking about the current state and future of the Blackhawks. Keith Magnuson, who's number 3, was co-retired with Pierre Pilote, one of the great defensemen in the history of the league. His son Kevin, who is an amazing spitting image of his father, with the red hair. Kevin Magnuson is a certified player agent who negotiated Frank Nazar's extension with the Chicago Blackhawks.
Wow.
So Frank Nazar's agent is Keith Magnuson's son, Kevin.
Wow.
Kevin is one of the all-time great people in the game. Love him to death. So shout out to Kevin Magnuson.
Nice. And we forgot to mention this during the cigar news, and my apologies to Mo, but we got a press release from Mo late this afternoon, so we will share this real quick. But the red pill, Mo talked about this during our podcast, but the red pill is being released. It's a 5x54 or a 6x54 box press. Box counts 20. It's a Mexican San Andreas Oscuro wrapper, Connecticut broadleaf binder, and a U.S. Nicaraguan filler. The MSRP for the 5x54 is $13, and the 6x54 is $15. The red pill is an awakening to the truth that causes one to examine their understanding of reality. According to My Red Pill moment circa 2009, during the global financial crisis, a contractor with the FDIC, I was a member of a team's tasked with closing banks throughout the U.S. This trip into the truth greatly shaped my understanding about how the global financial system works and some of the malevolent issues that we are inherently embedded with the system itself. My hope is that other people will take time to do a deep dive into how their financial system works and understand why we're seeing the inflation and widening wealth gap that is currently happening. So that was released, and you should be able to find that at your local patina retailers. I'm sure Teddy is putting an order in as we speak.
That's what I want to ask you, because I wasn't aware. Can I order those?
Sure, I'm sure you can.
It's not. Is it, how much limited edition is it? Like how many bundles?
I don't think it's. Hold on. I don't think it's limited. No, it's just it's not a limited edition, so you can definitely get that. Yeah.
Oh, let me send an email then after we're done.
This box is an homage to Max Press Cigar. My buddy Drew Brandt and I almost did 10 years of the Sultans of Smoke podcast. Boop boop. The Red Pill is a continuation of building the fuller end of the patina portfolio. So yeah, no, it is not a limited release. So this is a new cigar that he is releasing to continue to expand the patina portfolio. I again, not to sidetrack you, Marty, I'm sorry, but I've been smoking the patina Maduros. Oh my gosh, those things are money. They are just great. So
last night I was digging around in my humidor. Yeah. I found a patina anniversary.
That's what I wanted to ask you. Yes.
I didn't know I had it. I have no idea where I got it. I was like,
was it really good?
Yeah. Very good.
Love it when you find a cigar that you didn't know you had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Christmas morning.
Yes, very true, Fireborn. That's very true.
All right, I got 5 more questions.
Go for it.
You're gonna get all these. I'll be surprised if you don't get all these. So Mike is gonna be the only one that has ruined your adding of 1,000.
I did know that Foley's first game was when Makita's sweater got retired. No idea what the date was, but that's Mike. That's awesome trivia. I love that.
I wrote him an email just trying to sort of see if he had anything from that game, because I just was curious what he remembered from that game.
I love that you got the program too. That's awesome. I wish I had some more old programs from different sporting events, because I love that stuff. The artwork is amazing.
Yeah, I wish we would have saved some of those from back in the day.
The Madhouse in Madison was just. I told these guys. I think I told it during Mo's episode. We sat with our back to the wall with a window above us as my dad smoked his cigarette. I mean, the Madhouse was. It was all smoke. I mean, you got up to that higher level. Can I see the game?
It was stacked vertically, and the acoustics were such that the noise went straight up and bounced off of the logo in the center of the court or the center of the ice.
Yeah.
Then you had
anyone that ever played there, it doesn't matter if you were home or away, will tell you, when that place was rocking, when they introduced Michael Jordan, when they introduced the old Blackhawks, when somebody scored a goal, it was the loudest barn in any sport that there ever was, because the acoustics were flawless.
Yep. Exactly. All right, Marty. I'm putting myself on mute. Go ahead. Keep going.
What year did the tradition of the Blackhawks fans cheering during the national anthem start?
It was against Edmonton. I believe it was 1984.
So
or was
close.
it 83?
85.
85.
Although that was during the conference finals, so you are kind of right. It was
it was the 84-85 season.
85
they were playing Edmonton and got their asses kicked by Gretzky. I call it Wayne Gretzky and Mark Messier and Yari Curry and that absolute wagon of a Oilers team that is probably the reason Steve Larmer's not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
That's a whole other podcast episode.
So we'll give him this. That's 6 out of 6 so far, right?
Yeah, we'll give him that one.
Okay.
Which Blackhawks goaltender set the modern NHL record for most shutouts in a single season?
Single season.
They're getting harder and harder.
I believe that's Tony Esposito.
That's who I would guess, and you'd be right. Yeah.
I know Belfour's rookie year, he ran the table on awards, and that was an absolutely magnificent season. But yeah, Espo's still the man. I think a lot of people want to, as much as we love the dynasty teams, and people will thump their chest that Patrick Kane's the greatest Blackhawk who ever played, it's still Stash for me.
That was probably the year they played against the Canadians in the finals.
I think it was, which would be poetic because the Blackhawks got Tony Esposito off waivers from the Canadians.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right after they'd made one of the worst trades in history, sending his brother to the Boston Bruins.
Yeah.
All right, next one. Who was the first Blackhawk to have their jersey number retired?
Mike blew that one. It's Stan Mikita.
Oh, yeah.
And it took a while for them to retire numbers after that. And as I've said, Soapbox 28 for Steve Larmer and 24 for Doug Wilson should both be in the rafters by now.
Absolutely.
They are long overdue.
Absolutely.
They'll run out of numbers for teams that have been around a long time.
Well, if you've got great players, it's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
And now that the Blackhawks have their team Hall of Fame, they'll be able to honor some more guys. But I think that there should be a distinction between guys who really defined an era for the team. And with all due respect to Marian Hossa, Larmer and Wilson were here a heck of a lot longer.
Mm-hmm.
They just didn't win 3 Stanley Cups. But that was because of Gressier.
Who holds the record for most career assists in the Blackhawks?
I believe that's Stash, Stan Mikita.
Yep.
You're getting everything right.
And who was the winningest head coach in Blackhawks history?
Joel Quenneville, the current head coach of the Anaheim Ducks, who, if memory serves, will be here on Sunday. He's been here since he left the Blackhawks. He came back with the Florida Panthers once, but this will be Quenneville's return during the Centennial season. So I'm sure that the crowd will let him know how they feel.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Who did he pass?
Oh, geez.
I shouldn't have asked that extra question.
That's the bonus question.
It's the extra credit. Extra credit.
I think he coached Bobby Hall.
Yes.
Man, the last one has to be the hardest one, Marty.
Jeez. I can see the photo of him that I had in the first book that I wrote, wearing the crazy like Letterman's jacket when they were holding the Stanley Cup in '61, but I cannot pull his name out of the recesses of my brain.
First name starts with a B.
Oh, jeez.
Last name starts with a R.
And the asshole in me wants to say Barry Rosner, but that's a writer. Billy Ray.
Yes, there we go.
Not Scott Bowman. No.
Not Scotty. No. Scotty was busy terrorizing those teams.
Yes. Yep.
In Montreal.
Yep. All right. Well, let's do the giveaway, and then we will wrap this show up and put a bow on it. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can do this here.
And don't worry, I'll make sure that I ship the book. We'll make this clear again for the third time.
Oh,
okay?
Here we go. Can you guys see that okay?
Nope.
No.
Well, what the heck? Why is it not? Oh, there we go. How about now? Can you see it now? All right. Let's
I
do
like
a
this.
little. Let's do a little shuffle here, and
We got
spin away.
a new sponsor for Meyer.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Bill Chavez.
Oh,
Awesome.
all right.
I was going to
Awesome,
try and light the lamp again, but I think my battery's died.
It's dead. It's dead. Well, Tab, we really appreciate you being here. We hope everybody enjoyed the show. It's something a little bit different, but it's Chicago Connection. Tab is an avid cigar smoker, and a good friend of both Teddy and I. We hopefully we'll bring you back when we make the playoffs. Maybe we'll have a goofy season here and make the playoffs this year. If not, we'll find time to slot you back in and talk about some more Blackhawks stuff, talk about sports. It's great. Remember, like us, share us, subscribe. We can use it all. We're trying our best to expand the podcast. So the more our analytics show that people are watching and sharing and liking us, the better off we are. There
Thanks
you go,
again,
Teddy.
Tab.
Look at this
Absolutely.
gift. No, look at this gift. You didn't have to ship his cigars. You didn't have to ship his book, but you're gonna bust my balls. So
Who knows? You might
Absolutely love to see it.
meet Tab there.
yeah, you meet Tab there. Or he's been there. He's been
Absolutely.
there twice now. We've had herps, so he's always hiding there in the corner somewhere. So, all right. Well, thanks a lot.
Thank you,
Martin,
Tab.
close us out,
Absolutely.
buddy.
Good chatting with you boys. Love smoking with you.
All right, everyone. Go Blackhawks. And until next week, put some smoke in the air.